Hi, my name is Rebecca Montgomery. I am a faculty member in the Forest Resources Department at the University of Minnesota in the Twin Cities. I'm here to talk a little bit about my project related to the phenology, or the seasonal timing of growth and flowering of wild parsnip and Japanese knotweed. These are both noxious weeds in the state of Minnesota, and we are really interested in understanding the timing of their biology, of their life cycle, in order to more effectively manage these species. This project has sites here at the NC Rock, but we also are at 4 other research and outreach centers, and we have an associated citizen science project called Pesky Plant Trackers, because these are very pesky plants. So this is wild parsnip. Wild parsnip is a biennial, which means that it lives for 2 years. Right now it's in its first year state, which is a basal rosette, which means that all the leaves come up from the base. Next year it will send up a flowering stalk and set many, many seed. One of the reasons wild parsnip is a problem is that if you break the leaf or the tissues of it and the sap gets on your skin and the sun shines on that sap on your skin, you can get very nasty chemical burns. And so there's a serious health hazard in terms of the photodermatitis that this plant can cause. One of the key stages we're interested in is that timing of flowering, and particularly when the flowers are starting to set seed, because we want to come in and manage them through mowing prior to seed development. If management happens after seed development, it spreads seeds rather than controls the plant. This is Japanese knotweed. This is a plant that largely spreads vegetatively by sending out underground rhizomes that resprout. That's actually how we did the transplanting here. We just took chunks of Japanese knotweed and planted them in place. It's an amazing plant in that a very small chunk of that rhizome can reproduce and start a new colony. Japanese knotweed is a problem because it spreads prolifically, and it, especially in association with buildings and structures, can actually cause structural damage, breaking through foundations and emerging in people's basements. In England, before you sell your home, you need to have it assessed for knotweed, because if you have knotweed, either you have to remove it, show you've controlled it, or your property value is reduced drastically. These plants are native to fresh lava flows, and so you can maybe get a sense for where it gets that wonderful or terrible characteristic of being able to actually move and break through concrete, because fresh lava is about like a rock that the plants move through. So why phenology? Why are we interested in the seasonal timing of the life cycle? Well, the seasonal timing is critical to when management happens, and we need to know, when is the plant going to flower? When is the plant going to be in a particular stage? And that stage depends on the weather, and the weather of a particular year. So what we're trying to do is use weather data to predict the timing of flowering. Right now they say, well, it flowers sometime in June. But what we're trying to develop here, coupling data from the weather station and our measurements of when this plant flowers, for example, is to be able to follow the weather of an individual year, how much warmth that plant has experienced, to say it should flower this week, and be able to make more precise predictions so that management can be scheduled at appropriate and most effective times.